Hey y'all, okay, so I'm back. So I last picked y'all up at Walmart. So I picked up the groceries, got those all put up. So it's the next day. And so now I'm going to do the meal prep. So as mentioned, this is a low carb meal. And it's something either I haven't fixed it before or it's been a while. But it's scallops with lemon butter sauce and herbed cauliflower rice. So it's healthy, but it's gonna be flavorful as well. Okay, so we have our cauliflower rice. I have 2 bags here. I'm actually prepping enough for my husband and I to eat at least 3 days. We'll see how that goes. Salt, pepper, I have minced garlic. I have this table blend. I'm unsure if I'm gonna use this, but I think I will just to make sure it's flavorful. I have a stick of butter. I don't need that lemon. 2 lemons. This is fresh parsley and the lemon juicer. So let's get started. Okay, so in the microwave for 6 minutes. So I'm gonna pop both of these in at the same time for 6 minutes and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so what I did was I just picked up a bag of large deveined and peeled frozen shrimp from Walmart, along with, these are base scallops. I couldn't find the large scallops, but we're just gonna work with the base scallops, which are the smaller ones. And this is just 1 bag of the frozen base scallops. Okay, so I drained the water off, and so now I'm just kind of like patting these dry with paper towels, just so we don't have a bunch of excess water because we want the seasoning to stick. Okay, so now we're gonna go in, I think I'm gonna go in with, so you can do this as you please. That's a little bit of salt. Again, and it's the seasonings of your choosing. I'm just doing salt, pepper, and we'll go ahead and do the table blend. And this is pretty much equivalent, let me show my face. This is equivalent to like a Mrs. Dash. It's a salt-free seasoning, and this is it's from Aldi. There you go. All right. And I still have a good amount of water in here. And because this is salt-free, be generous with it. You know, you don't want your food to be bland by any means. And you know how it is when you get like frozen, whether it's fish or any type of seafood really, or any type of protein that's frozen, like there's just so much like water that's logged up in it. So I'm just trying to get rid of some more of this water here. So let me go in with just a little bit more of this salt-free seasoning, and then we're just going to stir that all around. And y'all, it's not even, in my opinion, like I feel like I need to see more seasoning in that, so I don't want to cross-contaminate, so I'm going to use my other hand. Even though it looks like a lot coming out, it's really not as much as it appears. A little bit more salt, because I don't want this to be salty. And I think there's black pepper in that table blend seasoning. So this is my butter. I'm just gonna, this is actually salted butter. If you're watching your salt intake, feel free to use unsalted butter. I'm gonna drop a couple tablespoons of butter in the pan and turn this on a medium to high heat to melt the butter. Okay, so while that's melting, we're gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna multitask here. And I'm gonna go ahead and juice these lemons. So, like I said, I try to, you know, really incorporate, it's like an 80-20 for me. So 80% of the time, I eat healthy. And then there's that 20%. So that's when I'm posting like comfort meals. If y'all follow me on social, out at restaurants, eating good, eating trifling or whatever. That's the other 20% of the time. So this right here is the 80. We're gonna try to do right, okay, on these weekdays. All right, so that is our juice. Butter is melting really good. We're gonna throw the scallops and shrimp in once it's like almost completely melted. Turn this down just a little bit. We don't want brown butter. That's gonna give on a different flavor. So like I said, before it gets to the point of browning, we're gonna throw in the scallops and the shrimp. Okay, we're tossing scallops and shrimp in. And spread that out good so we can cook all pieces evenly. I'm actually gonna switch utensils. And I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit. We're gonna cook that at a medium to high heat. Okay, so y'all, I just added another 4 minutes to the cauliflower rice because, I guess because, you know, it's 2 bags. So it was still a little frozen. So that extra 4 minutes should do it. Stirring that all around. So I'm just making sure the shrimp is just cooked on both sides. And I want to make sure to not overcook because we don't want our seafood to be like tough. Y'all, so the shrimp and scallops, they are done. Well, I feel like it kind of withered away. We might be good for 2 days. So I'm just going to take this out of the pan. And I'm leaving the juice in here because that's going to actually serve as like, we'll say like a stock for our sauce. This leftover juice here, I'm sure is full of flavor because you have that scallop and shrimp flavor in addition to the seasonings. So like I said, it's really like a seafood broth. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna turn the heat to like a low, medium heat. And we're gonna add in our, let me make sure, I'm actually gonna get rid of some of this because we have a good amount of lemon juice. So I'm just gonna pour about half of it out. So I have about that much. Really, it's almost like a little, I would say enough to coat the pan, maybe a little bit more than that. All right, so we're gonna stir in about a tablespoon of butter. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of garlic. So this almost put me in the mind of like a shrimp scampi, right? It's just we're not having the shrimp with pasta. We're having it with cauliflower rice. Okay, so our butter has melted, so I'm going to pour in our lemon juice. So that's our lemon juice, pouring that in. And we're just gonna let that cook, actually kind of come to a simmer for just a few minutes. So we're gonna season the sauce just a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt in here and that table blend. I'll go in with that as well. Okay, so I am putting that seafood in the pan. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit because I need this to start doing this thing. Okay, so now it's simmering, which is what I wanted. And so I'm actually gonna turn the heat off at this point. Okay, y'all, so let's prep up this cauliflower rice because we ain't eating this straight out of the bag. Gonna dump this out into this bowl. And basically, I'm just gonna add probably just salt and pepper to it. I probably should have had a bigger bowl, but let's stock it up a little bit. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. Not a lot, that was garlic powder. Salt, because remember it's cauliflower, so it has very little to almost no flavor. So, and a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna stir this up. I'm gonna add this little pat of butter. And you know, that little bit for such a large bowl of butter, it's just gonna add just a little bit of richness to it. And it's so hot that I shouldn't have to pop it back in the microwave to melt the butter. Yeah, much better. It's not real rice, but it's a close runner-up. It'll do. I mean, like, for it to not be rice, like, it is actually pretty good. If you've never had cauliflower rice, definitely give it a try as a substitute to rice. It gives you that texture, and if you season it, you'll feel like you're actually eating rice without all of the carbs. Okay, y'all, so these are just meal prep containers. We ordered these from Amazon. If you're interested, I'll link them below. So I'm just gonna put the cauliflower rice in first. Okay, so this is our scallops and shrimp. That one. And so y'all, this is just the fresh parsley. It's curly parsley. And so I'm just giving it like a rough chop. Add freshness to the dish, additional flavor, and color. And I think that's it. Okay, y'all, so quick, easy. We fixed this in what, like 30 minutes? And check it out. Low carb, healthy, flavorful. If you try it, let me know what you think.